All right, what's going on, guys? I'm going to pop out the chat. Give me 1 second. We're going to wait a few minutes, and I'm going to give you guys an update on why there was no content in January, just because people were curious, And I think there's some more information going on as far as The Walking Dead is concerned. Give me a second. Let me just double check all the things here. Boom, boom, boom. You guys can hear me good and see me good, right? Yo. I'm doing everything like 3 times because it's been so long. I'm like, and it hasn't. It's only been like a month since I streamed, and I'm like, am I hitting the buttons right? I didn't quite enjoy my time off. I wish I did. Yeah, essentially for The Walking Dead, we'll talk about that a couple minutes until we discuss what's been going on and then what kind of content you guys can look forward to. Because I'm trying to juggle a couple different things at once. Because I got a little part-time job I'm doing. I'm working. We're working fully into. I was going to have a clever way of saying that. But we're working on Doomsday Kingdom issues 6 and 7, which will be in a new... it's going to be in a new book together. I'm going to release it together on Indiegogo. We're going to do another crowdfunding. But for those interested in just the singles, we are coming out with the physical of issue 5 and yada, yada, yada. So we're going to have issue 5, 6, and 7. But we're also going to start coming out with 2 books. Let me grab something real quick. And we just picked up a new shipment of mini posters because I forgot we only ordered 300 the first time, so we had to go and order another 200. So we're good to go. So anyone ordering Doomsday Kingdom on Indiegogo, we still have a few copies left if you want to jump aboard. Everyone got there so far, so we should be doing the Doomsday Kingdom stream, talking about everything, all spoilers, story points, and how it ends. The continuation of the story is coming out. And I might as well show this off while we're killing time, but it's called Doomsday Kingdom Public Enemy Number 1. Now, it's like a quote, Public Enemy Number 1. It's not actually book 1. People asked if this was a spin-off. It is just a continuation of the story here, and it's going to contain issues 6 and 7 in one book, and that's an Indiegogo special. It's only on Indiegogo. We're never going to reprint it. We're never going to resell it like that. When we sell it on our website, when we put it in, hopefully comic shops coming up. I'm looking into putting it local. I got a deal worked out where we're going to start putting Doomsday Kingdom into a local Raleigh, North Carolina comic shop. Anyhow, it's going to have the issue 6 cover on the front, and then the back cover will be the issue 7 cover, which the artist is working on now. But when you get that off Indiegogo, it'll be one continued story, no interruptions, no ads, no nothing, just like this book here, 120 some pages of straight comic story. It'll be like that, but it'll be about, I think, 60 pages right now. So that's the method we're going to try to release. Every 2 to 3 months, we're going to release an Indiegogo book. It'll contain 2 comics in one book. And once that is rocking and rolling, we're going to release on our website the single comics for everyone out there who is interested in the floppies. But like I said, we still have some Doomsday Kingdom. Check out or sign up for Public Enemy Number 1 because you get a special trading card if you sign up. And then if you back it that no one else is getting, it's only for the people that sign up. I think we got some Walking Dead pictures here. Yeah, we have some Walking Dead information and some pictures. Guys, let me know if, or not if, but what's up with the Walking Dead situation where they're going to release it early for AMC Plus. I keep reading everywhere it's AMC Plus, and I'm not seeing anything about AMC Premiere. Now, for anyone who might not know, or if you're not paying attention, there was one service, AMC Premiere, which was where they showed it early first, and then they started a new one, which was AMC Plus. And there's a couple technical things that are different between the two, and yada, yada, yada. It's really annoying and stupid, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. I can't imagine AMC Premiere lasting much longer with Plus. I don't know why they just don't have the one. Again, I'm sure there's technical stuff that I haven't, contract stuff that I haven't really looked into. I wouldn't be surprised if they phased out AMC Premiere. But anyway, if you guys have paid attention to that, let me know what's going on. Aaron P. with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for the support, homie. Hope life is good even after the issues. Well, we'll get into the issues now. Let me see some of your comments. Actually, I am blocking. Nope, that's not it. I am blocking the comments. No, that was son of a bitch. See what happens when you don't do anything for a bit? I am blocking the comments. So let me move my ass over. I'll shrink when we look at images. I'll shrink it later, but we hear you good. Trev's Chan going off the deep end. Why is that? Give me the goods. I know you don't play Fortnite anymore, but did you see they came out with The Walking Dead? Yeah, I saw that, man. I wanted to get the Predator skins, but I never play Fortnite anymore, so I'm done. Which is a shame because Fortnite, when it first came out, it was fun as shit, but I just don't want to play with people that that take it so serious. It just sucks the fun out of it. I should have got my drink. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Damn, I don't even have a water in here. I'll grab a water in a second. You're secretly obsessed? Well, it's not a secret anymore. Q&A, did you know Denai is in Godzilla versus King Kong? No, I did not know that. Ronnie, where have you been? Glad to see you. All right, since we have a few people in here, we're going to go over where have I been. It's just a real quick story just to let you guys know what was going on. But we had a house fire, and it's funny because it was insane and intense at the time because, you know, I was pretty confident that my office is in the back. So as far as like material possessions and whatnot, and I mean that because one thing that was on my mind was, believe it or not, I have a stack of Doomsday Kingdom comics, and I had a little stack of ones that we had to ship out. That was one of the first things on my mind. I was like, oh God, I hope they don't burn up, you know, but seriously, I was pretty confident that as far as material possessions, I was good. However, for a good 5 minutes, I was almost certain we were going to lose the house, or at least because I rent. So the building, you know, would be the landlord would lose the house, and we would likely have to bounce until it gets fixed. Yeah, for a good 5 minutes, I was like, oh shit, because the apartment filled up with smoke and I got all crazy. But luckily, the fire department is only like less than a mile away, maybe a mile away, and they got here fast. I mean, they were here fast. I mean, I think the cops were here, like 2 minutes before they were, because my daughter, I woke her up, and then, first I didn't even know. I was sleeping, and then my uncle comes pounding on the door. He noticed, and he comes pounding on the door and got us up. I got Juliet up. She falls back asleep twice, you know. Anyhow, so I went up to check to see where the fire was starting from. It actually started in the chimney. And long story short, I peeked my head out, and the siding caught on fire. The whole top was I should back it up, though. When I first looked out the window, what was neat was the whole, my front, it's the landlord's back, but my front yard was orange, glowing orange. There's some trees back there, like let's say 50 foot or whatever, you hit a line of trees. The whole thing was just orange, the whole backyard. And that's because the chimney on the top of the house was a big torch, a big flaming torch. So everything was orange, and I poked my head outside to see how bad it was. And the siding and, just parts of the house were raining down, fireballs of melted plastic and all this. Here's one crazy thing, and this is what shut me down from uploading content for a few weeks. The damage was minimal just because the fire department got here. I mean, we're talking it was like $20,000 or $30,000 worth of damage. So I shouldn't say it was minimal. Luckily, there was house insurance. So that's what I mean by minimal. But anyhow, and it was strictly to the chimney, the roof, and a bit of a porch. So when I say minimal, it was like minimal in comparison to losing your house. But anyhow, so it was minimal in that sense, but it was still like a potentially like a shitstorm. So anyway, where was I? So, oh yeah. It was minimal in that sense, but a day or two later, like I'm even helping out with clearing some things out. We had some guys come and they were ripping stuff and covering the chimney so water doesn't come in. We already had a flood a little bit because the fire department, obviously, they got to put out the fire. Anyhow, we're assessing some of the damage, and I sneak in to do some work on my computer now that all the chaos is gone, and there's no internet. I have no internet. And I'm like, wait, what is that all about? So it dawns on me, shit. The main internet, we actually moved right out on the outskirts of the city. So there was no main internet line on this. There was like a whole ridiculous ordeal where there's one strip of area where there's no like apartment complexes, so they just didn't run internet because it's not worth it. So I had to pay the internet company $2,000 when I first moved here just to put in my own internet line. And it didn't reach. They made it and they were 60 feet short. So what I did was on the end of the house is our main internet line, and then I just ran a Ethernet cable from one end of the house to the other where my office is. And it dawned on me, we went over the porch, me and Spectrum, being the guy ran the line, over the porch and then down because I'm on the first floor apartment and then there's a second floor apartment. And we ran it down into where my office is. Well, right where the wire runs, that's where the fiery debris came down. There's literally like a 4-inch spot where it caught the wall on fire. And that just so happened, out of all the shit that could have got damaged, that just so happened, it burned right through the internet wire. So that in part had shut me down for a bit. Just ridiculous. But yeah, all that ridiculous stuff popping off. But my daughter, I think she fell asleep twice, but then when she finally got up, it wasn't until the cops showed up. I had a cop come in. He tried to grab the cat, and the cat was not having it. So I was like, all right, you go outside with my daughter. I'll get the cat. I end up getting the cat. She dug her claws into my chest like crazy, though. That was another thing. So I throw the cat in the car, dog in the car. My daughter went in the fire truck. They let her go in the fire truck because she was having a kick out of it. But she was traumatized for like a week. And she was like, I don't want to see no fireplace. I don't know. It was a little traumatic for her. So it was something where at first for a good 5 minutes I thought it was going to be like, oh, we're fucking screwed, like this is bad. Listen, I haven't felt feelings like that in a long time, and I was a bit nervous. Anyhow, they showed up and done. The insurance company's going to take care of that. I was out of internet for a little bit, and like I said, that I got off easy as far as what it could have been. I got my internet turned back on like a week ago, though, maybe a week and a half. And I'll be honest with you, I just wasn't up for it. I was just in a slump. I just wasn't up for it. Anyhow, we'll read a couple comments and then we'll cover quickly some content that's coming out. And this is going to be like the official schedule. Anything in the past, I know I played around with mad different ideas for doing different types of things. But from here on, I have a clear vision of what we're doing. I will tell you some things I'd want to play around with, but I'll tell you right now, I know exactly how it's gonna unfold moving forward. And this is only like a good 3-month play around. One thing is I was thinking about dropping The Walking Dead totally. However, seeing as we only have season 10 and season 11, I don't want to not talk about the ending of The Walking Dead since we're here. If it was going to continue on and on and on as far as the main show, I might kick it around and hang around for a while. But I think at this point, let's try to find time to discuss the episodes in some way, shape, or form. And then finish out the main series, and then kind of, I'm good. I think I'm pretty much good after that. The Walking Dead for me has lost some of its magic, so I don't think I'm going to be that disappointed, or not disappointed, but that attached to back away. And we're talking like this is still like 2 years down the road, you know? So we have season 10, we got season 11, and season 11 is going to spill over into 2022. So we got all of 2021 and all of 2022 for the most part. Chances are, and then the Rick movies. So there's still going to be Walking Dead stuff, but it's not like I'm walking away completely. I still have my goals or my eye on, we did season 1, Flaw and All review. I still have my eye on jumping into season 2 for the Flaw and All review. Now, I think the way we'll play it out, some of you guys said, hey, do just the main episodes. And I said before, that's hard because some of the episodes I love, the internet just doesn't care about, you know? So how do I pick the main episodes? If I go on the internet, I pick the internet's, you know, the ones that are rated, let's say 75 and above, but some of the ones that are rated under that or a little under that are some of my favorites, or maybe I think there's something special there. So I just said, screw it. We will eventually get back into season 2. And then by the end of season 2, we'll have enough of a catalog to know if it's even worth going on with it. I also found a new way to tweak the Flaw and All reviews where I was having a struggle getting the scoring system perfect. And I was even talking to a few of you guys during my break. And I think the way I'm going to do it, that I think it's the best way to do it, is to keep it not so serious and strict. And if you guys in the comments, you guys leave some positive, let's say you have your own awe, and which is a positive point, or you have your own flaw and is a negative point. If enough of you jump on board with those in the comments, or if you guys legitimately pick out some good ones, I'll do a recap, so to speak, because the only point system that matters is not in the video from now and forever, but the point system, that the ranking that we get, the score itself. That's all that matters. So let's say I do the Friday the 13th and I do 5 of them, right? But then after 6 months, I got 5 of them done, and you guys are like, well, go back and let's take away some points or add some points based on your feedback. We can do a recap video covering the additional points or negative points. You get what I'm saying? Kind of like a recap. I know that sounds like more complicated than it is, but it's just a lot better than, and that's on the rare occasion. I'm not going to go back and adjust every single video. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think the point system is supposed to be just a roundabout. I don't think it needs to be like exactly perfect, because I do have people who would argue just based off a couple points. But the idea is, as long as it's in that range, you feel me? So it's not supposed to be like the perfect point system for it. As long as you know, like, this particular movie is on the higher end. Night of the Living Dead, for example, it's in the, I think it's got, 26? And that could fluctuate, give or take. But that, in a fair assessment of that movie, based on how old it is, how independent it was, and this is not taken into, you know, your love for it as far as how nostalgic you are to it, but a 20 is fair for that. And it's not a 20 from 0 to 100. Don't forget, it's negative 100 to negative, it's negative 100 to positive 100. So a 0 is literally flatline in the middle. It's not good and it's not bad. It's just in the middle. It's just okay. So being at a 20 is pretty decent for what that movie has to overcome. Again, the money, the budget, the age. What do we got here? Doomsday Kingdom Army with a $5 dono. Just unboxed that Pumpkin Myers Unreal. Oh, you just unboxed it. Man. I can't share send me a picture of that. I want to show them what we're talking about, because that Pumpkin Myers is a custom that was done and it was badass. Speaking about a custom, I painted a zombie back scratcher and I'm quite proud. I don't think you guys would be able to see it, but I'm quite proud of it. That's something else I was working on, doing sculpting and painting. Hold on a sec. Oh, I just... You guys will not be able to see the finer details, but I got this back scratcher off of Amazon, and it was like this cheap little thing. It's made out of resin, so it's not like a cheap little thing, but it is kind of a cheap thing. Anyway, there was a terrible paint job that was on it. If you look up the zombie back scratcher on Amazon, you'll see what I mean. But I went in there with a brown base, and then I went in with a yellow and green to give it a really fine, I don't know, zombie skin. It's not going to show up good. And I did the really nice blood with bone. And I got helped out a lot by getting a pre-mixed, it's like for professional blood painting. It dries glossy, it dries wet and bloody looking. So that helped me out big time. I had to do the base though, like where you set up where the blood underneath, and then you do this thin layer of prop movie blood for painting, and you can even use it for movies and stuff on set. But yeah, so I can't get a good camera view of it. But yeah, I did this little painting here. Here's this little bone paint job. I stripped the whole thing of the paint. I wish I could get in there with the paint work, because I'm quite proud of that. And this was just a little project, but I dig it. A little zombie hand that you could scratch your back with. I don't know, something stupid. I did a Jason mask. I could pull that down. I did a Jason mask that was a prototype. This was like a little shitty one. This was like a really shitty Jason mask. Like, I'm talking cheap. It came in like a band box or something. One of those real, I think it even had a signature on it. I'm sorry for, it's the guy who played Boy Jason in part 1. I know who it is, and I'm sorry, but I started sanding it down and I forgot it was signed. So there goes that signature. Anyhow, I wanted to do some damage, and damage that's inspired from part 7, and the idea was to get vines. I didn't go shopping for the right vines, but this is just an idea of vines that would start from here. You would see it through the part that's broken off, and then it would come up through here, so it would run in like a half shape. But that's part of the idea here, and then I put a heavy gloss on it. Such a Jason mask there. I don't know. I liked it, but that was my first Jason mask I did. And some other crap. But yeah, so I was doing some painting and some sculpting. I still want to get good enough to do some people from Doomsday Kingdom. What do we got here? What do you even think the scene with Maggie and Negan seeing each other will look like and feel? Well, here's the tricky thing. They already did part of that. And since she's coming back, it looks like they'll have to do a... they're going to have to walk a tightrope, because they don't want to redo it over again. But Maggie did say that her son was asking about her dad. So this could be an avenue where the revenge, anger, hatred, instead of coming directly from Maggie to Negan, it's going to have to be written, routed through Maggie's son, aimed at Negan. You feel what I'm saying? Because they already did that. Negan and Maggie already had theirs, where Negan was just, crushed. Jail gutted him. You know what I mean? That was like an ultimate punishment. But now, redoing it again just wouldn't work. It doesn't have the same weight. They already had a face-to-face. But now a free Negan and, putting her son in the mix, being old enough, asking about her dad, I don't know. That might have a new dynamic to it, but it's difficult because part of you as a fan, you want to say like, well, obviously Maggie's going to put her foot down and that's going to be the end of it. But Negan's a character that's here to stay, so we know that's not the case. We also know they're going to end it, so there is a chance that they could come to some type of conclusion for season 11, drag it out until then and actually kill off Negan. Because in the comic, Kirkman obviously left him alive because you can bring him back whenever you want, and he already started to do that. He dipped his toes in doing that. If I was Kirkman, I wouldn't... you need something? If I was Kirkman, I would leave him alive, because in 5 or 10 years, I could just bring him back and yada, yada, yada.
By the way, that's what the look I had on my face.
Was that it? All right, just make it quick.
Okay, thank you.
And you're welcome. All right. Yeah, so that's why I have a little bit of a uncertainty with that. There's some cool pictures, though. I think part of it, it's nice having a wrap-up, finally. But again, I still stand by The Walking Dead is going to continue the franchise for another 10, 20 years. It's not going anywhere. Even if...
This?
Thank you very much.
Will I have to brush my teeth again? Also, can you
let me
open
see.
this?
You should probably better. It's probably best to...
Okay, I will.
Because there's... Well, it says no sugar added, but you don't want that sugar and food sitting on your teeth. Well, just give them a good once over. You don't have to use toothpaste, but give them a good scrubbing.
Here, I won't use toothpaste, but I'll floss as well.
Floss good, too. Yeah, they always floss. It gets that food stuff out from between your teeth. Oh, careful with that. Drink some of the juice. Drink it now.
I kind of already brushed my teeth. Drink it now. I kind of already brushed my teeth, so I'm probably gonna wait a second.
All right, love you. You need the light on?
Hold on.
Here, I got it. Ow.
Can I expose you real quick? He has dead spiders for some reason.
Don't tell them. I just forgot to throw them out. There. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
Love you. Hurry up, or I won't be the best. All right. Sorry about that. So we got this girl. Yeah, my thoughts are always going to stay the same. Like, even though The Walking Dead isn't doing nowhere near what it probably should be doing and nowhere near what it used to be doing, it is always going to be making more money than a new IP. So if someone said, oh my God, I got this great zombie story idea, it will make more money if they just put the Walking Dead name on it as opposed to starting something new, you know? Like if I came out with a new book and I said, guys, I got this new zombie book, go to Indiegogo. And then if I said Doomsday Kingdom, 5 of you are going to go to Indiegogo. But if I'm like, guys, I'm writing this new story, it's a zombie story, you go to Indiegogo, it's a Walking Dead spinoff, 50 of you might go. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, the Walking Dead franchise will always be lingering. And if they get a good team, there is a chance to revitalize it in some new way or shape or form. I'm not seeing any images, except for maybe the Here's Negan. I'm not really seeing any images that really jump out at me. It is nice having Lauren Cohan back, having Maggie back. But I'm not seeing any images that are really jumping out at me where it's like, yo, that is fantastic. And I'm still kind of worried, and I'm almost positive these are going to be glorified webisode episodes. I know everyone is jumping out saying, no, that's not the case, and I hate being, more pessimistic with it. But I'm telling you what, even from the trailers, and it's looking good. And sure, they told us they were not going to continue with the season 10 story, and it was kind of going to be like a holding point as far as the story, meaning like, we're holding here and we're going to come back in season 11 and then continue with it. That's what they did say, but it looks like they are continuing it directly because, or maybe in a small way, because we are seeing some of the Commonwealth. But if they're doing the Commonwealth transportation and then at the end of the season 10 extra episodes, whenever they get to that end point, because I think the episodes aren't going to flow all in one. The final episode is the Negan one, so the main characters, their story's probably going to end in the 5th episode that we get, the 5th extra episode. And I think the Negan one is the 6th one, the one all the way at the end.
This one?
Nope, other end. Yep. Now go shut it off. No, shut it off. Now go over there and shut it off on the other one.
Because it wasn't working.
Yeah. I love you. All right, just unboxed that pumpkin. Have you seen any of the new zombie games like the day before? I did see the day before, and I don't like the idea of the co-op. I love the atmosphere and the look and the idea of the gameplay, but as soon as you hit me with it's a co-op and you have to go and play with people and yada, 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 that threw me off. Now, I love multiplayer games, but single player will always be my number one. That's because I've never in my life found a multiplayer game where there wasn't some type of frustration with not being able to just jump in for a few minutes and then jump off. Getting that urge. A lot of times you got to coordinate with people, and then if you're playing with randoms, it has its own type of fun to it, but it's just not, it's not my shit. I like the single player games, jump in, I want to be immersed in that world. If I'm walking down a corridor and you got those sounds and it's like, oh my God, this is creepy and cool. And then I got some idiot eating Doritos in my fucking ear because then he's like, oh man, I don't want someone up in my ear when it comes to that type of game, you know? I think if it was a game where it's just a run and gun, I really don't care because you're not trying to get the immersion into the atmosphere. But yeah, the day before, I don't know. The day before looks really good and it's open world and has everything you want watching a trailer. Yeah, like I said, I checked it out, but I don't want to play with other people. Not as the main gig, and that's what it looks like. The main gig is doing co-op. I would rather a single player game with a co-op edition. Have you seen the Resident Evil 8 demo? I really like it. Great atmosphere, graphics. I haven't. I skipped the demo. I've seen advertisements for it, but I'm probably going to grab Resident Evil or watch this stuff when it gets closer to release. It was just something where I saw it was a girl. You saw that poster of the girl, and I just was like, I was doing something at the time, and I was like, I'm going to check it out eventually, but I haven't looked into it further. Have you seen The Walking Dead are finally moving to digital film? Yeah, I did hear about that. Ronnie got some awesome talent in art and idea concept. Also sent those pics. All right, let me look over here. I'll show you guys what he's talking about. That's not Facebook. Where is Facebook? He found somebody who does custom stuff. I don't know all, or I'm not remembering all the stuff this guy does. But he took a pumpkin display and he put together like a Michael Myers face in the back of it. Here is part of it. I'll put it on the screen. Let me double check. I'll make my thing smaller. But yeah, here's it lit up. It looks like it has a plaque, like a nameplate in the front of it. But it's got the little station wagon that Michael Myers steals when he escapes the hospital, and little trees here. There's leaves going all the way around, creating like a border, and then there's the face of Michael Myers, kind of like a half a mask, or at least just the face part of the mask poking out. And here's what it looks like when you get it in hand. I think it's a banging idea. It looks pretty friggin' awesome. The price is a bit high, but when you get into customs, you understand. Mainly because a lot of them are time consuming. I've ran into a lot of customs like when I'm making stuff, and I am always blown away by how friggin' easy it is. When you learn certain things, I'm always blown away by how insanely easy. Like even this mask, like some people might not think it's any good. I don't know. I just, grabbed a mask and started. It was idiotically easy to do this mask. All you got to do is learn what certain techniques are, and then you're like, oh, it's easy. But the killer for customs is the creativity and the time consuming especially. I'm not really sure about this one. Like, for example, if he's finding Matchbox cars, maybe that's how he got the car. And then as far as he could have sculpted some of this himself with the sidewalk. And, you get all the stuff from the craft store. But then to get it scaled and to get everything set up with the glue and yet to get molds of the mask, that probably cost him some money. The pumpkins, getting them cut out. So at the end of the day, the time and then the pieces, it builds up. But yeah, that is 100, and that's actually a close-up of the thing I painted. The pumpkin is $150. This right here. I'm pretty sure that's the cost of it. He said there was something else. Hold on, I'm pulling it back up, bud, because oh, okay, there it is. I knew you had. All right, I knew you had sent me another picture. I guess this is a dial. Oh, that's a cool look of it too. Here, I'll pop it back on. So here's another image of, I showed you that one. Here's another image of the Halloween. Here's another one, but with the lights on. And then here's some other masks. This is John's mask collection. And then here's a little Halloween display. Speaking about this display, this is something I was going to work on here shortly for a Myers piece. Doing the porch, this is a common one that fans get into when they do dios, is the front porch and having Michael there by the door. I've seen a lot of different concepts of these, but this is one that the guy did. But I think this pumpkin one especially is pretty friggin' cool. I think one thing that just throws me off is maybe having the mask, a little more of the mask come down like the neck part. But other than that, it looks fantastic. Ronnie got some awesome talent, yada, yada, yada. Would you want Clementine to get her own TV show? I just played Telltale Games for the first time, and I think it's one of the most purest Walking Dead stories of all time. Well, I don't think Clementine's ever going to get anything because, again, they don't have the rights. Until Clementine is in the comic, AMC doesn't have the rights, and I don't think they're going to pay Kirkman any more money for more Walking Dead stuff. The reason why that isn't included is because their deal only deals with the comic storyline and the comic characters. Clementine is alive in the comic universe, but her IP is strictly, AMC's control over what they do and the rights that they purchased, it is strictly in copyright law and with contracts and all that. It is a matter of fact and very specific. So they can't ever do it. You know, would I like to see one? I think you can make a damn good show. But they'll never do it. But I think that character, I think they could do something really good. They need to extend. It was good having Lee's story for the first game, but I think they need to extend that for maybe a full season or two. No, at least 2 seasons. Scratch that. At least 2 seasons. Extend his story and then gradually grow with Clementine and her story moving forward. Do you think they'll eventually pick up the Event Horizon Blu-ray from Scream Factory? Boom, boom, boom. Poster perk. I didn't know they were doing an Event Horizon. Bro, on some real shit, Event Horizon jacked me up as a kid. Where's Event Horizon Scream Factory? Scream. Yeah, Event Horizon messed me up when I watched that as a kid, yo. That shit had me shook. All right, yeah, right here. $28 for a Blu-ray pre-order. I'll pop it up on the screen. Here's what he's talking about. Event Horizon Collector's Edition and exclusive poster. If this is the poster, I'm passing just because I don't like that artwork. I understand why they went with that artwork, and it's decent for a Blu-ray cover. But for a poster, I have no connection to that whatsoever. Let me see if there's a different poster image, though. I don't think they have a picture of the poster, though. I would probably grab it. They do a great job. Scream Factory does. I'm going to grab just the movie, though. I don't really care for the poster. And I can see Event Horizon falling down in price. It's not going to be one that's going to be out there unless they do some special limited release for it or something. I don't know. But if the poster is this cover, I'm not interested. But if the poster is something else that's badass, I might grab it. I know a lot of people are sick of zombies, but I'm still hoping we get some more decent shows and games. I feel you there. And I hate when people say that zombie stuff is oversaturated and we already get too much of it, because we don't. To me, it's a weird phenomenon because it really feels like everything is zombie stuff. But when you think about it, how many cool zombie movies, and don't tell me how many zombie movies, how many good, and I mean actual good to great zombie movies have you seen in 2020? It's not many. Off the top of your head, was there any like good? And I'm talking about like good, not just like okay. How many zombie video games came out in 2020? Days Gone was 2019. There was no zombie video game that came out in 2020. That was fire. And I'm not talking about no little like, Was there anything in 2020? You can count Last of Us 2 for any of you. For the world and the characters, sure, yeah, that was amazing. But story-wise, that sucked hard. No, I'm not buying AMC stock. That's also a different company, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Slizzle22 with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that a lot, homie. With the collapse of World Beyond, do you think any future spin-offs won't have recognizable characters from the original show? Won't have? Well, I'm not sure how you connected one from the other. I'm not sure how you came up with that, like one affecting the other, but I think we're always going to get spin-offs to some degree. Movies, mini-series, shows, anthologies. There's a Walking Dead anthology in the works in the concept right now, development, whatever. We're always going to have recognizable characters, and we're always going to have non-recognizable characters. It'll always be a mix, because The Walking Dead is a, it's a product, it's a franchise. So, was the camera not focusing now? Let me see here. I think maybe it wasn't focused before, huh? It looks fine now. Oh, you must have been talking about when let me scroll down to the new comments. You must have been talking about when I was showing off the thing. Mega Dr. Dre with a $5 dono. What up, homie? Long time no see. Just got caught with your lofo. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. All right, let me read it how you wrote it, just so I can be clear. What, homie? No time no see. Just I got caught with your Lofu Part 2 videos after I beat the game myself. All right, now let me decode that from either stoned mistalk or drunken misspeaking, mistyping. Maybe you're doing voice to chat. I don't know. What up, homie? Long time no see is what you meant to write. Just got caught up with The Last of Us Part 2. I'm guessing videos after you beat the game yourself. Well, thank you very much for the dono. I hope I decoded that properly. And how did you like it? Did you like it? What about the game Sons of the Forest or Back for Blood? Never heard of either one of those. Are they coming out now? Sons of come on. I'm rushing. Sons of the Forest. Oh, well. Sons of the Forest, official gameplay trailer. This looks promising. What is this? I had to turn the volume down. This looks promising. So, first person. Go down in a helicopter. I can't just let it play because the stream might get chopped for... This is my stream if I get hit with a copyright. So you fall in a plane. You're alone in an area. You can build a cabin. We have a 3-legged zombie. Is that what that is? So mutated zombie, it looks like. First off, I don't like how they're just chilling there, but maybe that's explained somehow in the gameplay. We get zombie like like the Deadite type. I love that thunder and lightning. I tell you what. It looks good. What the fuck is that? So you find a hatch like in Lost. And then, I don't know what they're doing here. So you could build your own cabin. I'm wondering if this is, yeah, it looks like, oh, that was fucking badass. It looks like this is similar to 7 Days to Die or Live or something, where you're in an area, there's zombie-like beings, and then at nighttime they come and attack your... So you got to go out, harvest stuff, build up your camp. If that is like what this is, but with a pretty in-depth or cool story, it looks like maybe there's some type of tribe with voodoo. Maybe it isn't zombies, because this guy right here looks like maybe a like some voodoo tribesman, you know, some... You know what I mean? Okay, never mind. We got monsters and mutation stuff. That looks badass. That's creepy as shit. Oh, yeah, look at that. These mutated Sons of the Forest. Yeah, I don't know anything about this, but I'm curious now. I think it's safe to say it's going to lack story. Because if they had anything to tease story-wise, they would have teased it. But that looks promising. So Sons of the Forest. And then you said... what was it? Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood. There's also that one that the people who made Left 4 Dead is doing. Is that what this is? Back 4 Blood full campaign. Oh, alright. Yeah, this is Back 4 Blood. I really don't give a shit about it. I'll probably play it just to see what the gameplay is like, but it is, or it looks like a Left 4 Dead Call of Duty type. I really don't care for those co-op games. For me, when it comes to the zombie games, I like to jump in and do the run and gun, shoot 'em up type, but my heart is in... or my love for the genre is in having that immersion and the story and being out in that environment and more along the lines of single player. I'm going to get set display elevated to see the mask even better. Boom, boom. Do you like early 2000s horror? If so, would you do Flaws and Ozone 1? The Ring, Final Destination. Oh, we're going to definitely get to early 2000s horror. I don't know how long until we get to The Ring, but I know Final Destination will probably come up before The Ring because I have like a little list. We were doing some voting, but right now we're timed out with voting because Friday the 13th, I don't think I mentioned that, but Friday the 13th Part 1 is... here's the script actually for Friday the 13th Part 1, but I think it's like 9 pages. I'm going to be done with it. Here's the thing. It's Friday the 13th. I've always talked about how I want to keep on a consistent every Friday schedule. I'm not committing to that yet, but part of me thinks I'm going to definitely be ready, you know, way before Friday. Like, let's say Wednesday, for example. But there's another part of me that's thinking, well, just hold off and start coming out with your videos this Friday. And then every Friday. So this Friday's Friday the 13th, Part 1. The Friday after that, which would be February, whatever. So like February 12th is Part 1. The 19th is Part 2. And then Part 3 is the following. We'll see how that does. We're going to do maybe Part 3 to Part 4. If no one watches it, maybe we'll try Night of the Living Dead, or we'll go over and do some voting and see what you guys pick. But I would like for it to catch on so we could just do the whole franchise and bang it out. Again, the quicker it gets picked up and more interest, the quicker we can get to banging them out. And then start getting more people around that are focused on that content to start voting, because I do need a good 100 more people to participate in the voting. I'm also trying to find an easier way to do it. I know we were doing polls on Patreon, and what was the biggest? I think the YouTube community tab had the biggest amount of participation when it came to the polls. So we'll see. But the very next video, I don't think I even mentioned this. The very next video that I upload will be Friday the 13th, Part 1. And you guys let me know if it matters. Do you even give a shit when it comes out? Cause if I'm done by, Tuesday, Wednesday, I might just post it. If not, maybe we'll do Friday every Friday for a month or two and see how you guys like that. Yeah, that's the thing with zombie stuff. There's not a lot of good quality zombie stuff. Ronnie, where you been, man? Well, I had a fire. You can rewind it a little bit and get caught up with some of the details, but that shut me down for a little bit. Jeff, 1990 with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for the support, guys. I appreciate that. So good to see you back, Ronnie. I appreciate that, bro. Mega Dr. Dre, $10. I wish I was drunk. Sorry about that. I love The Last of Us Part 2. The only problem I had is with the story. Too much Abby, not enough Joel. 8 out of 10 overall. I definitely understand where you're coming from there, and I will agree fully. That's something that I did go back and start doing the Flaw and All review for the game, and it was going to be like 40 videos because each chapter was going to be a video. If you go and look, I think it's broken down into like 30 chapters or something, 30, subsections of chapters, because it does chapter, then it does like a mini chapter, and there's like 4 mini chapters in one chapter. Anyhow, I had it broken down, and if you go back and watch my Ronnie Hayes channel, I uploaded the whole Ellie gameplay, how it would be broken down into the Flaw and All reviews. But by the time I got done with the Ellie gameplay, it just broke me enough to where I was like, I'm not even doing this. Eventually, I think I might go back and tinker around with it just because I still have stuff to say. But I hated the story so much. It just broke me. I was like, I just don't even want to pick it up. The gameplay is probably some of my favorite of all time, and I still haven't even touched the game since I played it that third time. Meaning I beat the game fully twice, and then I played Ellie all the way through. One more time, so 3 times for her. Every time something awesome happens on The Walking Dead, it gets withered away because there's no Rick. You think he's actually coming back? I do think he's going to come back for at least one movie. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Rick comes back. Let me change my mind. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back for one movie and to end the series. I don't see them ending the series without doing something with Rick and the whole gang. Even if it's like a dream thing, I don't see them ending it without doing something like that. Back 4 Blood looks promising, but it's also 4-player co-op. Yeah, I'm just not down with the 4-player co-op. Like I said, when it comes to running and gunning like crazy, sure, I can jump on with my cousins and maybe people from Discord, and we can have a fun night. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just a grumpy prick. For the most part, I don't like those games, man. Like I like jumping in once in a while, but for the most part, I don't. I would rather sit down, jump into a game with thick atmosphere, great gameplay. Like, speaking of The Last of Us 2, it has amazing visuals, amazing atmosphere, amazing gameplay. The only thing I didn't like is the story. Outside of the story, the gameplay in the world, it's close to perfect for what it is. I would love to pop that on and just be in that world in a whole new game with characters that I actually liked. But, I'm not interested in the co-op thing. They aren't zombies. They're weird mutant cannibal things. Yeah, I put them all in a category of zombies because it's apocalyptic, over you're outnumbered zombie-esque, so to me it really doesn't matter. But yeah, if you want to be technical, they aren't zombies. There was no story in the Forest Left Mass Off, but it's definitely a good game. Is it out already? I must have just clicked on the teaser one. The Forest and Green Hell, which are similar zombie games, need a good story. Yeah, I think they really do. Still waiting on Dying Light 2. And I could talk about it now because we're probably not going to get to it, but me and James were trying our damnedest to put together a Doomsday Kingdom game that you can actually play. We were going to put together a demo for the end of 2021. We were even looking into the everything. We already had some of the software downloaded. James was even already going into some of, like ZBrushing and all. He was already going into some of the stuff, creating new assets. He was downloading. He already has a library started of downloading assets. If you know anything about game development, you'll know some of what these words mean. But trust me, we were already going in, getting our feet wet as far back as like November, maybe just studying how the games are made, reusing the assets, using Unreal Engine 4. I think they're coming out with Unreal Engine 5, but James even put together like a example, because you could take some of what people already did as far as the character movements, and then you can put them together in your own type of game type thing. Anyway, we were already looking at what our character would do, and we already have, as far as the demo, the concept of it plotted out as far as what you would do, like starting off as the rider. And part of where you would get is in, not part of where you would get, but a character is revealed in the volume at the end of the volume, and that character would also be in the demo because you would have read the volume by then. But we were really going in to say, let's do this demo, and if it got enough interest, we can crowdfund to get it as a playable game in a way where if we were able to create a small enough game that got enough hype and love and interest, we can do it like Telltale Games, where we released pieces of it. We don't have to come out and say, here's a 40-hour game, because you guys understand it's just two assholes, making a game. But if we were able to bring some people in, had a little bit of funding, and we were able to put out like a 10-hour game, knowing that the story would unfold into another, 10-hour version. So instead of coming out with a full game, we were looking into stuff like that. But I tell you what, just from some of the assets I've seen and things we were able to do as far as putting together the concept, oh my God, I'm so convinced if we had the experience, people on board to help us, and a little bit of funding, I'm convinced that shit would be fire, and it would catch on as far as enough to where it would catch enough interest to grow and become a thing in, let's say, 2022 sometime. And we even had that character, a cowboy character, picked out certain things that you would do within the story and the gameplay and yada, yada, yada. It just fits so perfect for a video game, and it's pulled directly from the comic, which would be friggin' amazing. Anyway, Heath with a $5 dono said, keep moving. I appreciate that a lot. The support is definitely building up tonight. Jeff 1990 with another $5 dono. Any interest in WandaVision? I don't have any. Also with The Walking Dead, which episode of the 6 are you most looking forward to? I think I'm most looking forward to the Negan one. Negan's here, or Here's Negan, I think is the name. Honestly, bring back Flaws and Oz. You might have just got here, but Flaws and Oz is the only thing on the docket. Just to let you know, to recap for anyone who came in, Flaw and Oz review is the only video in 2021 that is officially on the list, on the docket, so to speak, that's getting made. I don't know what type of Walking Dead video we're going to do, but we will continue with checking up on the new episodes as they come out. Maybe, still doing streams like this or mini reviews. You guys can vote down below and let me know what you prefer. But we will be touching up on the new Walking Dead episodes in some way. But the only official video is the Flaw and All review. So yeah, it's not going anywhere. Will I be doing any more gaming streams? I don't have anything in February that I'm going to be jumping into. But like I said, now that I'm up and rolling again, I got a couple things that I got to take care of. We have that campaign we're going to be doing for Doomsday Kingdom Public Enemy #1, which does sound like a #1, but it's not. It's the continuation of Volume 1. It'll be a book 2. How's that? Anyway, February, I don't think we're going to do any gaming. But if something pops up, maybe we'll check it out. I haven't paid attention to what's releasing lately, so I don't know. What about Stranger Things 4? I haven't heard anything about it, but it is coming. But yeah, with WandaVision, I don't care, because I'm pretty sure it is. I had a friend of mine who is into the Marvel stuff, and he told me it's just her losing her mind. And he told me that like 6 months ago. So if it's a spoiler, fucking sorry, but because I never know when it comes to certain things, people get so in a hissy fit over, which as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, well, duh, because if you haven't caught up yet, if you haven't watched Endgame, the only way it works is if it's not legit or if it's in some type of multi, you know what I mean? Because Homeboy is, wait, let me think. Homeboy is dead, right? He's dead. I'm pretty sure Homeboy is dead, so I really don't care if it's someone losing their mind. If you guys watch it like the Mandalorian and you say, hey, it's fire, I will go back and check it out like I did with the Mandalorian, which that was pretty good too. I'll watch it whenever it gets posted. Love your content. Don't matter the day it is. Well, thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate that. The only reason for having it on Friday, other than it's, Friday the 13th, it just goes with Friday, which is a stupid reason. But that's just so you guys would have like a day where no matter what, pop on and chances are there's a video. If not, that following Saturday. It kind of keeps you roundabout just because YouTube's algorithm for notifying you, its notification, I should say, not algorithm, but how it notifies you is so out of whack. I'm stuck. For months, I've been stuck on just picking a day and uploading on that day. So I should say, we're shooting for Friday, but you never know. We'll see. Let's get Friday the 13th, part 1 out, the Flaw in All review, and we'll see how it rolls. Part 1 was an interesting one to do because I have a lot of love for the Friday the 13th franchise, but I shit all over part 1. Not during the Flaw in All review is pretty tame, but my wrap up of it pretty much shits on it because part 1 isn't really that special, in my opinion. I think the best part is where Pamela Voorhees shows up and then, she slaps the shit out of Alice for a bit. Some of the best performances is in that end part. There's 2 cool kills. I think the hitchhiker is one of the best visually as far as looking like a clean, practical effect. The Kevin Bacon is one of the coolest for how it was done. However, now that we're watching it in high def, especially if you watch the extended version of that scene, you can tell it's a totally different color neck because it's a whole, from the neck down is all a dummy. And you can even see the padding of the neck part popping out. So it's one of the coolest deaths, but it's also ugly now because you can see all the but I didn't even knock it for that because it has too much charm to knock it for a little bit of the, stuffing coming out. I know you're not into doing top 10 lists, but I think it'd be so much fun if you did a personal top 50 horror movies vid or a series of vids, 50 to 41, etc. Well, that's a huge ask, like a top 50 list. That would be massive. For October, we could probably do something cool, but I'll tell you what, right now, if we can, I will just say, if I can get the Flaw in Alls released quick enough, maybe not by this October, but by October of 2022, I don't even have to do a top 10 list myself because I could just go on because the whole idea of Flaw in All review is to rank the movies. So I could just go to my movie section right now and rank them because they're still up in the corner and they're numbered. Like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Krampus is next, Boondock Saints, Bone Tomahawk, Train to Busan, and then Joker. That's the list from lowest points to highest. So theoretically, I could just look on that list and then make a video repeating that list and pick out all the horror movies. So we could do but I will not do one if it's going to just get in the way of doing the Flaw in All review. But again, October is the end of the year. Maybe things change and I do a list. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm not sure if I would do something as in-depth as like 50 of them, but we'll see. We'll keep it on the back burner. But we will do something, I would imagine, special for October, the month. We did a a little mini special video last October, which I had fun making that one. Metro is the only game that mixed story, atmosphere, and gameplay into a very subtle way. Most games come off either boring or pretentious. I liked Metro. I thought the blend of story and gameplay, though, got a bit jarring, but I did like it. Did you get back into Fear the Walking Dead because Season 6 is decent? In my opinion, Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead is still the best. I did watch Season 6. The first episode was fire, and the rest were pretty good. I even uploaded live streams, I'm pretty sure. Any Ronnie Hayes channel ongoings in 2021, i.e. gaming? Well, that's the thing. If we do any if we do any gaming, it will be on the Ronnie Hayes channel only, official, like no matter what. I know we broke that rule for a little bit of Last of Us this year, but I don't have anything off the top of my head. What was the game if the Forest game, for example, if that came out in March, I would probably most likely definitely pop it on Ronnie Hayes. What else is coming out, man? Guys, name some fire video games that are coming out in 2021. If something rings a bell, I'll be like, okay, yeah, we're going to play that. WandaVision has grown on me. Ronnie, not really being an MCU fan, probably won't get into it. Yeah, probably not. Are you buying the Friday the 13th Part 2 Steelbook? No, I'm not. For two reasons. One, I don't like the artwork on the Steelbook. And two, I already have the brand new Part 2 that was done by Scream Factory, so I don't need another Part 2. I was thinking about getting it to match the Part 1 Steelbook I have, but again, I don't like that Steelbook because it's just words on the back, and the front is just the Part 1 cover, but missing artwork. It's just an outline of the body. You guys know what the Part 2 promo poster looks like. For me, I just don't like it, and it doesn't have anything new for me to get it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do either a giveaway or sell my Part 1 Steelbook. Because now that I have the Friday the 13th box set, I really don't need the Part 1 Steelbook. And for anyone who wants to know, it is all black and it has the original cover. I love that Part 1 Steelbook because that cover is cool as shit. It has the outline plus the kids in the camp, but they're not the kids from the movie. It's one of those 80s covers where an artist just draws up random kids. It's like a paperback cover, you know? Anyway. Bring that down. Let me just Google it real quick. I want to make sure I covered everything because we're going to be shutting down soon. I only meant to jump on for a little bit, but just to cover bases, I did have some stuff going on, but I had that fire the first week into January or so. And that shut me down from doing videos. And then I was just in a rut for like a week after I got my internet back. So pretty much I covered why I didn't upload just because people were curious. I think people started saying I even went back to jail. I don't know why the fuck I would go back to jail. But I guess if you've ever been in prison before and you go quiet, the only place you could be is prison again. I don't know. You guys are going to have to let me know how that works. But officially for 2021, we will do videos for the new episodes of The Walking Dead in some way. I don't know if it's streams, small reviews. I don't know if it's a mix of both, or one or the other. But once a week, to the best of my ability, once a week, once every other week, we're doing Flaw in Our reviews from February and March. And we're starting with the Friday the 13th franchise. If it doesn't do well, I'll touch base with you guys and we'll look at, doing a poll and picking another horror movie, a newer movie, or maybe it is doing well, but you guys want me to mix in other movies in between instead of doing, the whole Friday the 13th all in a row. Maybe you want me to do a couple new movies here and there. I thought it would be better to just rock out with it. That way, like, imagine if we did Friday the 13th part 1, 2, and 3, and then I did Scream. Scream is on the list. I think it's high up because we did a voting poll for that a while back, and that made it high up there. Scream would be a fun one to do. And I'm going to flaw the one scene in particular where Ghostface is in the reflection of the grocery store. I loved Scream so much when I first saw it. I was like 13 when it came out. And I was even banging the girl at the video store. And I snuck down. There was a graveyard. Now that I think about it, it's actually pretty freaking cool. There was a graveyard right next to the video store. And I snuck in through the back door. And I scared the one girl that was working there. Or there was 2 girls that were working there. And I scared them both. And then banged one in the graveyard. So it was pretty fantastic. But, so yeah, that was awesome. But Scream was the shit. And then, like, I watched it 100 times. And then, like, 2 years later, I noticed it's not that I noticed it, but it finally dawned on me. Because it's just a quick scene where they're in a grocery store and they walk away and they shut the cooler door and it's a reflection of the Scream mask. And it's like, dun dun, the music is like, dun dun dun. And then the Scream guy walks away. And it's like, what the fuck was that? Who put that in the movie? Why would you even write that and put that in the movie? That's terrible. So this dude puts a Scream costume on, and just walks around a fucking... a grocery store. Even back then in that timeline, that would have given them away like crazy, because if he ever got spotted, I'm sure someone spotted him. They could just be like, yo, let's pull the surveillance from this grocery store and follow these idiots, Returnal is a PS5 exclusive. Resident Evil Village. Yeah, but when is that released, though? Video games releasing 2021. When does that release? Big games of 2021. Hitman 3, Mario 3D World, Monster Hunter Rise, new Pokemon, Deathloop, Lego, yada, yada, yada. Resident Evil Village. Evil Village release date. May 7th, 2021 for Resident Evil. Let's say it gets pushed back May, June, July. Let's say it gets pushed back to August, just for shits. Between May to August, I'll probably play Resident Evil. I played the other 2 on the channel on a stream, so I'd probably play Resident Evil. So sure, in a few months we can do Resident Evil. Biomutant looks fun. What is that? Biomutant. Whoops. Biomutant was released in 2020, according to this. Okay, I'll look it up sometime, but it looks like a raccoon with a gun or something. I don't know. MLB The Show, I'm not playing that. I don't like sports games. God of War Ragnarok, not sure of how much you like the last one. I like God of War, but I don't think Ragnarok's coming out that quick. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't see them coming out with it in 2021. Even if they say it's coming out in 2021, I could picture that getting delayed. Any other games? Quite a few interesting horror sequels coming up in 2021. Yeah, and that's why I'm excited for the Flaw in Our reviews to release on a consistent basis, because I would like to do Halloween leading right into Halloween Kills. I mean, that would be awesome. Imagine if I did Halloween and then we did part 2, 3, 4, 5, the remakes and yada, yada, yada. And then we came right around to the new Halloween 2018. And I released that Flaw in Awe, let's say the week of Halloween Kills. So we lead right into that. That would be fantastic, but we'll see. Lego, no. A lot of real... Yeah, so I guess there's no real good games. So I don't know what we're going to play on stream. At this point in time, I don't want to play just anything, just to play something. So we'll wait until something fire comes out. Thank you for the live stream and answering questions. I'm glad you and Juliet are okay after that fire. Thank you very much, Joe. Cool. I appreciate the support, definitely. Would love top 10 zombie movie list as well, if you had the time, brother. Yeah, the top 10 zombie movie list would probably be the easiest to make. You know, top 50 horror that would be like, holy fuck. That's like a massive donation reward where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you donated $10,000. Like, that's crazy. I'm going to suck it. No, I'm going to top 50, all-time horror movies, because that's in depth. And I think a reason why I suck at doing lists is because I take that shit way too serious. People always ask me to do a top 10 Walking Dead list, and I'm like, I can't, because I got to go back and watch all the Walking Dead episodes, because if I do it off the top of my head, I know I'm going to forget some. Like, I went back and rewatched season 4, just, the 401, 402, and 403, just for shits. And my God, I loved it. 401 so much, a lot more than when I first watched it. Imagine my list being totally different off the top of my head and then going back and rewatching it. And again, that's why I love the Flaw in Our Review, because when you guys say, yo, put a top 10 zombie movie list together, I could just go, okay, hold on. All right, take those. And if I didn't do a couple of the Flaw in Our Reviews, and then I could just match them up. You know what I'm saying? So once we get rolling, we'll probably start doing some lists. But a top 10 zombie movie list would probably be quicker. But I don't want to do that coming up soon, because I do want to go back and rewatch some that I forgot about, like the old, like some of the older classics. Please do streams on Sunday after the episode. I love the quick reviews. Also, I think Friday uploads for Friday the 13th is a really cute idea. Yeah, I like the idea of Friday for Friday, because that way people know, and I've said it enough where people are probably sick of hearing it, but at least maybe it's stuck. So I think maybe I'll really try to stick with that. If I do it, I'll probably be able to get a head start, because if I'm done with part 1 on Wednesday, I can start with part 2 on that Wednesday, and I have a week and a half now to get that done for that Friday. But anyway, as far as the streams at this time, that's likely, what we're gonna do as like the default, unless something comes up and I can't stream, and then we'll figure something else out. Any update on Public Enemy #1 Indiegogo launch? No, we're going to be doing an official launch. We were working on some things behind the scenes, getting James set up with he's actually going to be working out of an art van. So he had to actually take some time to get his art van prepped up. Again, I had that mishap in the middle of the month that set us back a bit, but we're going to be doing a launch announcement. Let's say, give us another week or two. We're going to be going ahead with that, and then just moving forward right away with the Public Enemy. And that won't delay people getting it, because we'll leave it open like we did with the first campaign. So that way people can start getting it, and we'll close it out after. But, maybe instead of doing it, shutting it down I think we're going to launch it in January, shut it down in February. We're launching it in February, shut it down in March, something like that. But again, if we extend it, because I think we will extend it this time for 60 days, that's not going to be a problem, because we have a way where we order an extra amount to cover what the estimated how many more people will jump on board, so it won't really interfere with people receiving it. But that is one thing I'm real hyped about, is getting that out, and then especially getting into the third book, because that would be on point. Hopefully building up with a quick release will build up some more attention for it. Did anyone watch The Lodge and get super sad? I watched The Lodge. I didn't like it. I only didn't like it just because I just felt like the whole time I was waiting for a twist, and it was pretty much what the trailer said it was going to be. I don't know. But I can see it's a well done movie, so I can see horror fans liking it. It just wasn't for me. Gavin's Ghosts with a $10 dono. Live reaction contents are awesome, bro. Good luck on a rebound. Fires suck. Yeah, they do. They're scary as shit, too, because that shit, if that goes, even if it goes too far and then you flood your house and, getting it put out, it's like, fuck, it's a lot to worry about. Not only that is I got super lucky because if my uncle didn't spot it, I would have been sleeping, and I probably would have, half the house probably would have burned down before I fucking realized it, because I was dead asleep. Deathloop sounds pretty cool if you check out that one. Yeah, I checked that one out. I'm iffy on it, but we'll see. There's a movie coming out that's real similar too, ain't there? I got to take off. Have a good night, bro. Have a good night. We're going to shut it down. Last minute questions, get them in. We do have to shut it down. I want to make sure my daughter fell asleep because we both got to get up really early tomorrow. I still highly suggest playing The Evil Within. You know what? That reminds me, not only do we have new movies, but not new movies, new games coming out. But yeah, there's still some old games that when I get some time, if there's a moment where it's like, oh, I got a few hours to kill and I'm fiending to jump on stream. We do have some older games that I've been really wanting to stream. Evil Within being one of them. So I have part 1 and 2. So there's definitely still hope. Have I copped a PS5 yet? No, I haven't even tried, actually. I'm never a first adopter. I don't play that shit when it comes to, I'm not waiting in line for a PS5. I'm not paying a dime more for a PS5. I will wait until 2021, Christmas of 2021, without even breaking a sweat, especially since it's so slow going from PS4 to PS5 that it just doesn't even matter. I never had a time with a new console where getting it early mattered. It's always such a slow transition, and the libraries in the beginning are never worth it. I never understand the rush. It's never worth it. Like, there's nothing right now where I'm like, bro, I need to get a PS5 like today. Like, I don't even have like a hint of interest. If it was freshly stocked in the store, I would look into budgeting for a PS5 and be like, all right, I'll pick one up, let me budget this month, next month, when are we going to grab one? But if it's something where it's like, oh yeah, you got to put in work to hunt it down and find it, nah, I'm good, bro. I think the only thing I'm actually interested in is replaying Days Gone right now. Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, and getting a new PS5 just isn't worth it to replay games. I could wait, The end of next year, I'll cop one for no problem. It'll probably be freshly stocked. It is what it is. Public Enemy is the rap group Ronnie's a part of. Yeah, right. No, it's not. Public Enemy is, I see why someone said that. It's from Al Capone. Remember the FBI's most wanted list? It's Public Enemy number 1. Al Capone is a Public Enemy number 1. See, the reason is that the guy is dressed as a 1930s gangster. Well, he's not dressed like a 1930s gangster, but his outfit looks like a 1930s gangster. And I was going to say, spoilers don't matter now because everyone got their book. If you haven't read it yet, because I'm going to show you a big spoiler. The time has passed. If you haven't gotten the book, I'm about to spoil something. It might be small to you if you haven't read the book, so it is what it is. But he looks like a 1930s gangster, and it's public. This is the cover to Public Enemy number 1. It's issues 6 and 7. It's going to be this cover and then a kind of a matching cover that's going to be issue 7. It still has the theme of zombies, the city, and this guy in this gear, and they are robbing locations. It's easy to just say that the tagline is, when's a good time to rob the rich during a zombie apocalypse? It's a confusing thing to try to work in there without getting too crazy with it, because they aren't necessarily robbing banks and shit like that the way you think of it, because something else is popping off. So they are going out, a group of people are going out getting wealth from, for example, banks and silver and gold and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I can't say it without spoiling it. It's only a small part, but it's different than that. But yeah, the idea is they're robbing during a zombie apocalypse. So Public Enemy #1 is just the FBI's most wanted list. That's the only reason it means. That's the only connection. Like Al Capone was Public Enemy #1. It's an old time saying. I thought that was more popular than I guess it was. If you're a fan of gangster movies, that's real popular, or rap. But I get a lot of people ask me what Public Enemy #1 meant. So I guess it's not as popular as I thought. But yeah, so yeah, he's going to be rolling around. He looks like that. And he's wearing a disguise on purpose. And that is going to unfold in issue 6. But yeah, here's one of the things that I was just like, this artwork here. And this was a character in the video game. One of our plans, if we were able to make a demo for the end of 2021, was having this character in here. A rider, another rider, the Black Rider, actually. We can't see it good here, but bam. I'm so fucking... That's the final page. And again, if you're new to Doomsday Kingdom, you won't get it unless you start reading it, and then we get to that. But having that Black Rider, I was gonna do like a little Twitter promotional thing, or not even Twitter, but like internet promotion thing, because everyone's just taking characters and turning them into minority characters. Like they're throwing you scraps, and you realize they're doing that, right? I mean, like, we all know they're doing that. Like, all of us, not just minorities, but everybody. We all know they're doing that. They're just feeding you scraps to, I don't know, get a pat on the back. And, I don't know, some people just have ridiculous things. But we were going to do a promotion where we had the Shahid Rider. And what was the tagline? I don't know. It was a neat tagline at the time, but it was like... I forget. I'm not even going to say it because I'm going to butcher it. But basically, it was like, fuck your scraps. You know, we got something that's fresh and that's new. And it is a new main character, like a main character. New to characters, not new to the story. He's been in it for 3 issues now. 3 or 4 issues. A little bit and then more towards the end. But yeah, that fucking rider is sick. So right now we have 2 riders. We got the White Rider and the Black Rider. But we know who the Black Rider is, so that's not really a surprise. What up, Johnny Raincloud? Sadly, it looks like they are going to add things to the bonus meant to take place during the time jump after Rick left, but it's forced because it's not linked to anything after. Well, here's the problem, Super Videos Entertainment. I think they said too much, or they mixed it up when they announced it. When it was still being written, they were coming out saying, oh, it's not going to follow season 10. We're going to take a break and we're going to show things that we're going on. We're going to show things in other places. And I think once they started penning it together and they for whatever reason, they made decisions to say, okay, well, we're going to continue on with the Commonwealth storyline, because we already seen little bits and pieces. So they're going to do a little bit. And I do believe they're going to do only a little bit for the extra episodes, and then they'll connect the meat of it for season 11. Like, we might get some type of cliffhanger reveal of the Commonwealth in the extra episodes, but they'll give us the meat of it and then introduce us to the new characters and the new leader in the actual, season 11. I almost forgot what season. But I think that's where the problem lies, because a lot of the stuff that doesn't line up, I went back and read it, and it's a lot of the stuff they said early on just doesn't match. Because you're right, they did say it wasn't going to continue. It was going to be like the time jump stuff, and it was going to be other characters and other, but it looks like it is just straight continued, and it's all over the place. More along the lines of an anthology where we're showing some Daryl and Carol stuff. We have some Maggie stuff. We're showing some Negan stuff in a completely different timeline. Like, not timeline, but in a, timeline. Fresh on to the apocalypse. What up, Geronimo? You looking forward to Army of the Dead on Netflix? No, I am not. I'm going to watch it, but I haven't seen anything yet that made me interested in it. Did you ever watch Channel Zero? No, I don't know what that is. What about Mass Effect? I'm not big on Mass Effect. I'm watching Grand Theft Auto 6 to come out before I get a PS5. Oh, yeah. Isn't AMC Plus and AMC Premiere the same thing? AMC Plus and AMC Premiere is not the same thing unless they combined it recently, and I haven't looked. AMC Plus and AMC Premiere did have some of the same shit, but for example, AMC Plus only caters to certain providers. For example, I physically can't get AMC Plus last time I checked because they don't take the same provider that I'm on, some shit like that. And so that's why I just stayed with AMC Premiere. There's small differences and dumb differences, so you might want to look them up. But I don't know if it's premiering on AMC Plus and Premiere. I don't know. You guys let me know. I haven't really looked it up, but I didn't know they were going to do it early on AMC Plus. So maybe I'll Google it sometime and read into it. Have you played Def Jam Fight for New York? If you didn't, could you check out The Finishers? It's a game. It's a fighting game with rappers in it. Are you talking about the old shit? I grew up playing that. Suspect was like a shadow guy. Yo, he was the shit. What up, Benjamin? I explained early on in the stream where I was. Are you going to catch Sopranos? If you want to check it out. If you want a prequel, want to try, I might catch the Sopranos prequel, but it's not like something where it's priority. I'll eventually check it out. Apparently, we're getting a Still 2.0 type episode with Carol and Daryl. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Yo, Ronnie, what the fuck? I was worried. Where you been? I talked about it early on if you want to rewind it, but we're back now. So around this Friday, we're going to be posting Friday the 13th, part 1, Flaw in Our Review. And then the next Friday after that, part 2, Flaw in Our Review. Which I'm real excited because I did watch part 1 like so many times. I rewrote the Flaw in Our Review like 3 friggin' times. The first time I was like, something was stale. It was just stale. And then I wrote it a second time and it was cringe as fuck because it was so stale. I wanted to make it like a little, I wanted to add jokes. I don't know what kind of mindset I was in, but it was too jokey. So I just scrapped it all. And I do want to make it kind of light, from at time to time, but I don't want to force any jokes. So if there's just no natural jokes or funny stuff that comes to me, I'm just not even going to fuck with it. It's about just picking out what's good and what's bad. And if there's any little funny things that I do during editing, I'll let it be natural. Because I really had a hard time doing one. But I'm real excited because I've watched part 1 literally like a friggin' 13 times now. Nice number. But I'm excited to finish the edit and get into part 2 and then even further down the line. They're changing Here's Negan significantly by the looks of it. Lucille lives into the apocalypse. Well, here real quick. This will be one of the last things we discuss because it is now 12:30. I do got to shut it down. But if you look at Lucille, where'd it go? If you look at Lucille, she is connected to some kind of machine and she does look sick. Now, they're changing it in a big way by, yes, instead of her dying on the first day of the outbreak and being sick and in the hospital, she is sick into the outbreak deep enough to where they are fighting rotted zombies. And that's one thing that frustrates me with The Walking Dead. They have this opportunity to go back to the beginning of the outbreak, even if the outbreak started a month ago, and they have an opportunity to show us some really gross, fresh, disgusting zombies. And the zombie she shoots, maybe I saw it too fast. To me, it looked like it was a modern 10-year-old zombie that was all rotted. Sometimes The Walking Dead does that. And it's real fucking annoying where they do a flashback and instead of showing us some fresher type zombie, we see like this dark, charred, really rotted zombie. I don't know. Maybe it's a picky thing where, anyhow, Daryl is with this girl. Here's Negan. I think Negan is talking to himself here, to be honest. I'm pretty sure Negan is either talking to himself or this is, excuse me, had a hiccup. This is Negan talking to people as he's becoming Negan. But there's a part of me that feels like that's him talking to himself. Where's it at? Okay, so here's, and again, I don't know, I don't see anything in the hose. I was assuming he was taking blood out and giving her blood. Is that a thing you would do? I'm not really sure, but he's connected to something and she's connected to something. I was thinking maybe it was like some type of blood transfusion. Would you even need to do that? Anyway, that's the only real change. Instead of her dying on day 1, she's going to die on day like 100 of the apocalypse. Outside of that, it doesn't change anything. It's still, she gets sick and dies. Even if it's into the apocalypse, in my view. I know some people, for them, it might be a bigger change. For me, it's just it's just like a visual change. Hands up on the vaccine. Who does the research of 5G to see if it's safe? I don't know about all that. Do you think the woman's a dog owner? Probably. How do you think Ellie's story will be implemented in The Last of Us Part 3? I don't think Ellie's going to be well, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Originally, I don't think they would have put Ellie in Part 3. I think they were going to write Ellie out for now and go ahead with the 2 new characters that they rebooted the franchise for, and stick with Abby and Lev. Is that the character's name? It's been a while. I forgot. So I think it got enough hate and mixed reaction to where it's going to mainly focus on Abby and Lev, and we're going to see like a quarter or like 1/3 appearance of Ellie, where it has to connect some way to the Fireflies. And again, I liked Neil Druckmann at a point, but he has, it seems, become a little pretentious, where I can see him going like, okay, you know what? Even though it would be in this world logical and organic to continue with the Fireflies and Abby and Ellie, it's almost set up perfectly where that is where it most likely should go. Instead of doing that, we're going to do that, but we're going to bring a meteor to fucking kill them all, because we don't want to make the same game we did. And it's like, bro, you don't have to fucking change everything to not make the same game you did before, you dumb bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, in a way, the game is set up perfectly to include the Fireflies still looking for Ellie, and Abby and Lev are now with the Fireflies. So maybe when Abby finally captures Elle is the one who, Abby is the one who lets her go because Elle let her live before, and maybe that actually adds some more meaning to it. But I still stand by what I said previously. I think they need to end Ellie's story with her finding another kid that's immune. I talked about that story before, but mix it up. The greatest thing, and here's why I think part 2 was a failure, and I still want to get this off my chest because I started talking about it. I might as well finish it, but they always talk about how Joel made the decision for her and blah, 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 blah. I think the most interesting story beat that they could have ever done was having Ellie so furious at Joel for making the choice for her, but also hiding from the realization that, and she hasn't admitted this to anybody, and she should have later admitted it to Joel, but she was so furious at him for making that choice. But now that she's made it to Jackson, now that she has a family with Joel, now that she's growing this loving relationship with a partner that she loves, like she's fallen in love, she's had a normal life, she's been a normal kid, she's gotten a tattoo, she has a job, she's got this sense of normalcy, that now she's at a point where if she was offered that chance again to save the world by giving her own life, she can't say that she would do that. You know what I mean? She's in that place where it's like, oh, okay, I'm the cure. Well, I'm going to die. Wait a minute. But I'm in love
but I got family. I want to live. Like, I think that's so much more deep. And I feel like there's no way they're going to do it because now it's a gay character that has a selfish moment for just a second. But I think that would have been fucking deep. Imagine being, I hate you for making that choice. But now that we've found all this, like, Joel, I don't want to die. Imagine how powerful that conversation between Ellie and Joel. Even if they don't know that there's no way that they can, go back. Maybe Ellie still thinks that Abby and them can still take her back and they can do the test over again. So in Ellie's mind, she thinks, there's a chance that she can still give her life up, but she's telling Joel, like, I don't want to die. And I don't know. There's so much more emotional stuff there where you could do something fucking amazing with that. And I feel like they just threw it out the window because, again, the type of person that Neil Druckmann is and his inner circle, you can't have a gay character. For some reason, they put characters in boxes where, like, you can't kill gay characters, like with Batwoman. And again, this is as stupid as it is, but it is dumb. With Batwoman, there was a white Batwoman in season 1. She sucked at her job, so she quit and she ripped someone off. So some insurance scam thing. So there was a lot of drama behind the scenes, supposedly. Anyway, so they got rid of her ass. But because they have this weird thing with killing gay characters, they think it's offensive and it's wrong. Flat out wrong to kill any gay character. How fucking stupid is that? Because they think it's wrong, they refuse to kill the character. But then when you watched season 2, the character supposedly died, but not died in a plane crash. But it's like, you basically killed the main character by pretending you didn't kill the main character. Like, that's why I can't handle stupid people. Like, the actor quit and you have to kill the character. It has nothing to do with, it's not an affront to gay people. It has nothing to do with being gay. The actor quit and she's never coming back. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what is wrong with you? Same thing with Ellie. They can't have her being a truly complex character and a well-written character because they can't have a gay character do something that's selfish. They can't kill off a gay character. That's why Dina was totally fine throughout it and had a kid and yada, yada, yada. They can't really go through and take those risks because they put these little check boxes on it. And I think that's where they went wrong with part 2 in a big way. All right. Worldwide Hip Hop with a $5 dono. Welcome back, motherfucker. Will you be doing the Walking Dead after shows? Maybe. At this time, it's likely we will, but it's not permanent because if I got something else going on, I won't be able to make it. It's just not priority, but we will be keeping up with the new season, I don't think we're going to have a lot of things interfere with the new season, but like I said, I might be working my other job and there might be a Sunday or two where I just will not be here. Maybe we'll do the stream on Monday then. I'll give you guys a community post if that happens and let you know though. How excited are you for The Last of Us 2, Last of Us on HBO? I really don't care. I'm excited for the world and the character, the monsters, the clickers especially. But I don't think they're going to find an actor or an actress to get the same type of charm and charisma that the 2 voice actors and the animations did. I don't think there's a way to recapture that. So I just really don't. When it comes, I'll check it out. LM, thank you very much for a $5 dono. How's it going, Ronnie? Was wondering what happened to your Flaw and All review of Day of the Dead. Wanted to watch it the other day. That got blocked as soon as I uploaded it, and I have not had time to go back and do the re-edit. Once we get rocking and rolling, I will find time. When you spend like 60 hours, after 40 hours of editing and finishing scripting, editing, yada, 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 and then you got to spend another 10 or 15 hours doing tweaks to it to get it from being not blocked when you upload it. Sometimes you're burned out and you put it off to the side. And so I put it off to the side like 2 months ago. And to be honest, I thought I was going to get to it and I haven't thought about it for a whole month. So I just kind of forgot about it. But we will get that back and re-edited and then upload that. And then we'll move on eventually to Land of the Dead. And then we'll be done with the classics, if you count that a classic. And then maybe we'll do some of the remakes. All right, that seems to be it. I got someone spamming the chat. I don't know. Let's shut her down, though. I got to get rolling. Thank you very much for stopping by, and thank you very much for the donations for everyone who kicked in. If you can like the stream or spread word for Doomsday Kingdom, the Indiegogo, keep in mind we have Volume 1 still for sale. It ships out the very next day when you buy it off Indiegogo. And then the second book following Volume 1 will be going up in about a week or two on Indiegogo. Sign up now, though. Anyone who signs up early gets an exclusive art card for people who sign up. Other than that, stay tuned this Friday for Flaw and All Review, and I'll touch base with you guys after that, and we'll figure out if we have anything else coming up. I know I have some like Doomsday Kingdom stuff that's going to be posted on the Ronnie Hayes channel, so if you are interested, just keep an eye out, because I have an up-close look at the unboxing, and then I have to schedule the Doomsday Kingdom stream. I will let everyone know, and I'll schedule it like a week or two out, so that way everyone can be here, and we can talk about the story in depth. So have a good night and be safe. And I'll see you guys this Friday for Friday the 13th, Part 1. Flaw and All Review. Just in case somebody was confused.